Hi everyone, my name is Bhavashya, and in this lecture we'll see a new command with a new topology. But before that, let's revise of what you have learned so far as in command level. So as you can see, now we have four routers. So there will be four LSAs, right? So let's check in R3 how many LSAs do we have. Show IP OSPF database. The very first rule to see the LSTB of any router, first check the router ID. Okay, this is the router ID. So that we can differentiate between which is the one of our own LSA or which one are the received ones. Right. So this is the received one, right? And this is our own LSA. And these are the received ones. 12.0.0.1 of R1, 23.0.0.2 is of R this R3, and 34.0.0.4 is of this R4's router ID. And this is what they are advertising with A's in sequence and checksum and ring count. We'll see in further lectures what it is. But for now, and also let's check the interface brief. Okay, show IP OSPF interface brief. As you can see, R3 has two interfaces enabled with OSPF, right? As we have learned in the previous one that when we use this command IPOSPF, interface brief, it tells us about in its own router information, right? So this is what it is telling about the interfaces that are fast internet 0/0 having working under this area, having this IP and subnet mask, having one neighbor, right? And similarly with this. Now let's check the neighbor. Show IP OSPF neighbor. Okay, so we have two neighbors here with this router ID 34. Okay, talking about this. Great. This is the IP address it is having. It's talking about this R4 on this interface. Great. Similarly with this of R2. Now let's learn a new command which is show IP route. But before that, let's understand. So let's check for our R4. We'll go to R4, we'll type show IP route. Now, as you can see here, okay, let me flip this. Let's check for R2. We'll come back for R4 to understand much better. Okay, now as you can see here, we have learned something from R. Okay, what is this O? So this O is our OSPF. So by OSPF, we have learned about this particular network, which is 34.0.0.0. About this. Why not others? Because the other one are directly connected. If you see at R2, R2 is directly connected to R1 as well as with R3, right? And it learned about this 34.0.0 network via which network? Via this particular 23.0.0.3, right? On which port? On this port, fast Ethernet 1/0, right? Now let's check off our R4. Now if you look at it, now it makes sense. R4 has learned about this network. Okay, let me now R4. How many networks will R4 learn here, being in this position? So R4 will learn about two networks, about 23.0.0.0 and about 12.0.0.0 as R3 is directly connected. So it will learn two networks. On via which network? Via this 34.0.0.3. On which port? Fast Ethernet 0/0. Let's see. As you can see here, it has learned this 12 via this, and it has learned about this 23 via this. Right, great. Now let's check for our R2. Check for R2. Show IP route. But before checking for R2, let's understand what R2 will learn. So R2 will learn about, okay, I guess we have already checked for R2, right? Okay, let's learn. Let's check for R1. Show IP route. Yes, but before this, what will R1 learn? And through which network? On which port? So R1 will learn about network 23.0.0.0, right? Via which network? Via 12.0.0.2 network. On which port? Fast Ethernet 0/0. Similarly, it will learn about 34.0.0.0 network. Via which network? 12.0.0.2. On which port? Fast Ethernet 0/0. Right? As R2 is directly connected, so it will learn only two networks. Great. Let's see. As you can see here, it is learning 23 network. Great. On via which network? Via this one. Great. On which port? Fast Ethernet 0/0. Similarly, it has learned from OSPF this network 34.0.0.0 via this network 12.0.0.2 on which port fast ethernet 0/0. Right. So this was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.